finding the equation of your parabola is your quadratic. If they give us 3 points, we're going to plug in all 3 points into your basic equation, and then we're going to use your systems of equations to figure out where your coefficients are. And all these guys is what we need to find. We need to locate what is A, what is B, what is C. So what we're going to do is create a system of equations for these guys. So we're going to start with your points like this. And I know you know this is X and Y. Just kind of put the X and Y up there because it really helps. So we're going to take this, and for each one of these points, we're going to substitute it into that equation. And all I want you to do at first is to just go walk through and just place them in. So, y equals, your y in this case is what? 3. A, I don't know. X is my -1. Be careful with the negative. Plus B, I don't know. My X is -1. Plus C. And I don't know C. We're just substituting in an X, substituting in a Y. Similar to how you solved for equation of a line. You took a point, X and Y, and you plugged it into that. Y equals mx plus b. So our format for your parabola is your quadratic. So we're basically doing the same thing. Okay? So now let's resolve this. This comes out to be 3 is equal to -1 squared is 1, 1a, minus b, plus c. Do I need the 1? No, but we'll just kind of hang out. Now we're going to do the next one. Y is 1, and a is 1, and sorry, x is 1. So we're going to put the x, don't worry about it, I didn't take a picture. Just grab one of these. Okay, and resolve this guy, break this down. Keep them lined up, it makes life a lot easier. Excuse me, now your third one. Y is 6. A, I don't know. X is 2. Don't forget to square it, because that's what your formula says. C, we don't know at all. We know X and Y, but we don't know your A, B, or C. That's what we hope to find. 2 squared is 4. Now we have 3 equations. I'm just going to take those equations and do a little reflection over here. Put the 3 at the end to make life easy. Because if you're going to put this in your calculator, you need the C at the end. You need the equal. You need the constant on the right-hand side. You're going to use a matrix. The constant has to be on the right-hand side. So we have 3 equations. Now, if we're going to solve this using systems of equations, and we're going to walk this one through using the systems of equations. We're going to combine 2 to eliminate one variable, combine another 2 to eliminate the same variable, then we're going to get our A and B, combine those, and eliminate a variable. The problem with some of you when you walk through this, you didn't eliminate the same variable. And some of you took a really hard route. It took me a little while to realize this is what you were doing. You eliminated from 2 of them, then you solved for one of those variables, and you went back into a third equation and was substituting in all these things that you use for substitution. It works, but it's really difficult to do that. So let's just take these guys, and everybody do this with me because you guys need to know how to do this. The easiest ones to eliminate are the ones that have, what I find, the opposite signs. So let's do 1 and 2. If we combine those, what variable should we eliminate? B. So let's take these 2, combine them.
Can you do the matrix first?
We are, but we're not doing the matrix first. I want everybody to solve the systems of equations first. And then we're going to use the matrix. Like we have to do one of these by hand on homework, you can use a matrix. So we're going to combine these. Call this A. What other two would you like to combine to eliminate B? 1 and 3. And you choose 1 and 3 because they're the same, the variable here has different signs, and we have to eliminate B. So if we choose 1 and 3, I can't exactly eliminate B yet until, I can't help Angela, it's a test, it should work. So if you're going to combine these and you're going to eliminate B, what do I have to multiply the top one by? 2. So multiply everything by 2 over here. I'm just going to bring it right down here. And now we're going to combine. Out comes these guys. And this becomes 12. Now, bring this under here. Okay. Good? You tracking on me? Are my calculations good? What was it, Anthony? 4A. This was the original equation. 3. We combined 1 and 3. So we took equation 3, 4A plus 2B plus C equals 6. We combined it with 1. You have to do 2 sets of combining. You have to combine 2, eliminate 1 variable. Combine another 2, eliminate the same variable.
So that's how you get the initial equation?
That's how we break it down to 2 equations, 2 variables. These equations? These came from plugging in the x and the y. We plugged in the x and the y into that format, and we got these. You can't snooze on this. No snooze. Alright, so now, we have to eliminate another variable. Which one would you like to eliminate? Look at your coefficients. None of them are the same. But if I choose to eliminate A, and this guy's a 6, can I get a 2 by multiplying something to give me a 6? Multiply by what? And since I want it the opposite sign, I should multiply it by what? Good. So we're going to bring this down here. So now when we combine these, this is done all the way across. 3c, negative 3c is equal to 0. Divide by negative 3, and c is equal to 0.
Here, BC. There's a 6 one.
6c. Now, you're at this point, you back substitute. We know c is 0. So, go back to one of these, A or B. This one or this one. Before you manipulate it any further, go back to one of those. Would you like to plug C into A or into B? Okay, we'll choose A. Good choice. 2A plus 2C equals 4. We're substituting in the C. So that's a 0. So 2A is equal to 4. Therefore, A is equal to 2. Now we know another piece of it. We need to find B. Well, the only one that has B is one of our original ones. We know 2 of the variables. We need the third. So, let's choose the first one. Okay, so we're substituting our A, which is 2. We don't know B, and our C is 0. We're going to subtract 1 and solve for B. B is negative 1. Okay. So we solved all our variables. All you have left to do is to substitute all your variables into this. Here's the equation of your parabola. Substitute in the b, don't forget the negative sign, and we don't need the c. Now, this is the nicest way to check. If you plug this in your y equals, it's a parabola, which way does it open? Up. It opens up, and I should look at my table and be able to find these 3 points. You just found the equation of that parabola. So y equals, look at your table, and these 3 points will be there. If they're not, something went wrong. So, systems of equations. Hey guys, just a few more minutes. Okay, now we have an equation of a circle. And this is the standard format for a circle. And that passes through these 3 points. So we're going to do the same exact thing that we just did with your parabola, only we're going to do this with your circle. So we're going to put these points down here. We're going to do this on your matrix, but we have to set everything up first. Again, I find it easiest if you put the x and the y on the top, because that's where you remember how to substitute. That's just me. So now, here's your standard equation. Notice it starts with a 0 equals. And it says x. So we're going to substitute in your x. We're going to substitute in your y. These are the 3 pieces we need to find. So we've got a b coefficient times a 0, an e coefficient times a 0, plus f. F is like that plus c out there. So let's simplify this guy. 0 is equal to, that's a 0, that's a 0, that's a 0, that's a 0. F. 0 is equal to f. Good so far? Do the second one. Again, same format. 0 is equal to, substitute in your x, substitute in your y. Be careful of your negative. Make sure you put it in parentheses, because all negative squares are positive. Plus d times the x, plus e times the y, plus f. So we're going to simplify this guy. 0 is equal to, this gives me 0, this gives me what? 4. 4, the d comes out, minus 2e plus f. Good so far? Okay, third one. Substitute in the x, substitute in the y, d times the x, e times the y, plus f. Yes?
You always start out with 0?
This, because this equation, yes, it says 0 equals. Their standard format is all on one side. The second one, I'm missing what you're asking.
Negative 2, like negative 2 equals 0.
No, see all the 0 equals? All of these have to say 0 equals.
Right.
There's no variable there. It's just a standard 0 equals. It's your standard form.
Because the first one's a y.
Right. This one's different. This is a circle, and it's in standard form. It's kind of like, you know, when you get your parabola all to one side and you set it equal to 0? Kind of like that. So this one has to say exactly that. We're only substituting in your x and your y. So this becomes 0 equals 9 plus 0 is 9, plus 3d, no e, plus f. Now, your variables are d, e, f. Let's do this one a little bit different. When we switch these around, we're going to fill all the coefficients that we don't use with 0. Because you're going to have to fill them in your matrix with 0. If you want to use your matrix, you have to have all of them. If we don't want to use our matrix, look how nice this is to solve. What did we back substitute? This would go in here. We'd solve for, we know F. We know F is 0. When did we solve for E then? And then when we back substitute into here, and then solve for D? This is probably a lot easier to do this one by hand. Because what happens in your matrix is you need to set these all up so that it works the same way. So let's just take these guys and set them up to match this. So if you're going to set this up, they're all going to be equal to 0. Look at your first equation. 0 equals F. We got to redo this. We want the F to be, let's switch this around. Let's just reflect this. We want it to look like this. What's our coefficient for D? It's gone, 0. What's our coefficient for E? 0. And our F? 1. I'm setting up your coefficients to use in your matrix. This one's probably a lot harder in your matrix. The second one is this. 0 equals 4 minus 2E plus F. Well, the first thing we need to do is get the 4 over here. 4 is the constant, isn't it? Isn't your constant by itself in your matrix? I'm going to subtract the 4. And I'm going to reflect this. Just swap them around. Your constant is on the right-hand side. This one's harder on your matrix than it is just to back substitute. So now, what's your coefficient for D? I have no D, so it's 0. What's your coefficient for E? Negative 2. What's your coefficient for F? 1. And your constant? Negative 4. Your coefficients for your matrix has to be lined up in order of your variables. D, E, F, constant. Let's look at this guy. Okay, let's move the 9 over. Swap them around. Which one is missing? E. So, these 3, E would be what? 0. F is what? Put this in your matrix. While you do this in your matrix, we'll do this by hand. We know that F is 0. If I plugged in a 0 here, you guys put it in your matrix and I'll do it by hand. I beat you. Did you get those answers? Who said no? You put it in wrong? Did you put, this is what we set up. Your matrix has to be in alphabetical order for your variables, and your constant has to be on the right-hand side. This, you just have to take these and substitute them back into here. X squared, we leave X squared. These are your variables for your circle. Here's your coefficient. Minus 3D plus 2y, oops, minus 3, sorry. Hang on. Guys, just wrap this up with me. Minus 3s plus 2y plus f is 0. There's the equation of your circle. Now, the reason it looks a little strange is because this is your circle, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We would have to obviously complete the square for this. But this is a standard form for your circle. That's the circle that will give you these points on it. If we want to see it, we have to go complete the square and figure out the rest of it.